Also new tonight, a crime with a massive canvas, if you will. Taggers going to town on a 53-story high-rise in downtown L.A. that was never finished. NBC4's Robert Kovacic joins us with more on that and what authorities intend to do about it. Robert.
Authorities, Colleen, we are hearing from a bunch of them late tonight. We are hearing from Mayor Bass, from Councilmember Kevin De Leon, from the LAPD, who we're not hearing from those responsible. They're actually standing here in the parking lot behind me. We're not going to show them, but they are happy for you to see what they have been up to.
Dude, what the fuck, bro? Dude, don't make this shit easy, bro. I literally cut this the last time I was here. It's pretty fried how they do this. It's like a fucking preventative. And there we have it. When I was young, like, my mom would force me to work for her. And I would always fucking complain about having to work for her, like, on weekends, summer vacations, winter vacations, whatever, when I was a kid. And, I would always complain to Frank, because Frank was cool, but Frank wrote graffiti. And one day he just like told me, he was like, you know, if you ever start writing graffiti, you have to call yourself BEAZY, because all you do is bitch and complain about everything. And I was like, what? I was like, what is a BEAZY, you know? And I must have been like 10 or like 11 or something. And he was like, oh, BEAZY's like a Mac Dre like term. I'm like, who the fuck's Mac Dre? You know, I was like 10. He's like, oh, Mac Dre's like a Bay Area rapper. He like refers to like bitches as BEAZYs. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So that's a tag, which is basically just like a hand style, you know? And a throwy would be like a bubble letter or whatever. It'd be like, and then you have like a straight letter. There's like a ton of unwritten rules. Like, you're not supposed to paint on any religious structures. So like churches, temples, like whatever. You don't paint on religious shit. It's just something you don't fucking do. Same with like cemeteries. Like you're not supposed to like deface like deceased shit. You know, like you would never like, I would never tag like on somebody's tombstone or like go to a cemetery and like fuck a bunch of shit up. You know, that's just like dirtbag shit that I just choose not to do. You know. And then you're not supposed to paint on nature, so like trees, rocks, like if you go on a hike and there's grass, like that shit's toy. Like toy is like, that's a whole nother word for people that don't understand. Like toy is like some people would say the toy is like basically like graffiti that doesn't look good. But to me, toy is like somebody who conducts themselves like graffiti wise, like in a shitty manner. It's like, I write BEAZY, but there's like a hella other fucking fools that write almost the same thing. There's like a Jeezy, there's like a fucking Wheezy, there's another dude who writes BEAZY, but he spells it with 2 E's. I'm sure there's like a Feezy and a ZZ and there's probably a fucking million of them, you know? You find out that there's like whole different like subsidiaries to graffiti, you know? There's certain people that only paint freight trains. There's certain people that only paint on billboards. There's certain people that only paint in tunnels. There's certain people that only tag. There's certain people that only paint hotspots. There's certain people that only paint freeways, you know? And then there's people who are like well-rounded who do like a couple of them or all of them or whatever, you know? And like I never knew that until like years of painting, you know? And now it's like, I personally like to paint freight trains because it's like, to me, it's like the least destructive thing that you can do. And it's like your shit's gonna, you know, you can paint on some train in California and it can roll into New Mexico. You can't really compare it to anything. Like the closest like comparison to graffiti art would be like caveman drawings and caves, you know? It's like, they just did it because that's what they wanted to do, you know? They didn't, you know, you had nobody telling them what they could and what they couldn't do. And it was just freedom. Graffiti is like a subsidiary to the fine art world. Like the to each his own. Like everyone's gonna have their own fucking personal opinion about it, but to me, graffiti is letters. You know, Like, just letters. Like, you can do characters, you can do all this shit, but like, street art is different, you know? Like, Banksy's a fucking street artist, you know? Like, Obey, like Shepard Fairey, he's a street artist. Like, Alex Monopoly is a street artist, you know? They want to make somebody feel like a certain type of way with their shit, you know? There's like purpose behind their shit. It's like, I'm just painting a name. Like, it's meaningless. It doesn't mean shit, you know? I just like doing it. Like, it's just letters. Like, it's just raw, you know? I don't know. Sometimes I question why I do it. To me, like, I get like, you know, I think it's stupid as fuck, and I'm like, why am I doing this? This shit doesn't make any sense. Like, what am I getting from this? This is just like ridiculous nothingness that's just irrelevant to anything. But at the same time, it's like everything. Even though it means nothing to me, it's like, it is everything. Because it's like, I've built my whole life around this. When I'm painting, nothing else matters. I'm just hyper-focused on what I'm creating. So that's why I do it, you know? But graffiti, like, you can't compare it to anything. It's just, you just have to do it and figure out for yourself why you like it or why you don't, you know? But it's just dank. Yeah.